Stand by. The program will begin soon. I don't know why I'm talking about this. During World War II, we sent 90 million pounds of spam just to the Russians alone. I mean, we sent it all over the world. Our troops, especially in the Pacific Theater, ate it. That was basically what they ate all the time. 90 million pounds to the Russians. Apparently in like the 50s, Nikita Khrushchev said, you know, if they hadn't sent us all this spam, they might not have been able to feed their troops during World War II. So a little weird canned kind of ham pork product, canned meat, may have won World War II. The Fed is trending on X, and I wasn't sure why, and I'm still not 100% sure why, although part of it is because of this building that they're renovating. They're supposed to be renovating one of the buildings at the Fed, right? And the other day, Donald Trump came out there with Jerome Powell, and they're talking about how the renovation of the building was kind of a little bit over budget, okay? First of all, the numbers on this are crazy. They wanted $2.something billion to renovate a building at the Fed. $2.1 billion. Well, this is $2.5 billion, but they're over budget by over $1 billion for one building. They're over budget over $1 billion for one building. $1 billion friggin' dollars for one building. This isn't even for building a new building. It's for renovating a building. What the actual F are they doing? If after a night of filling your rectum with vodka from a turkey baster, the cops find you changing a flat in the cereal aisle of a Piggly Wiggly and ask how much you've had to drink, and you say nothing, are you lying? Well, no. Now, if they had been asking, have you been injecting? You'd have to say yes, but they said, have you been drinking? Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, or Sanu, absolutely not. In fact, you all can try to answer these questions. Stand by. The program will begin soon. A WNBA game got stopped in the middle of the game because one of the players lost their wig while they're playing, and they had to run off. And then some fan made fun of the player, and they had to run. And they kicked the fan out for making fun of a player losing the weave. Not the weave, it was a wig. Losing their wig. They had to have a timeout for the wig, a wig emergency. Which I'm like, why the F are you wearing a wig while you're playing basketball? But then yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, a game had to be stopped briefly because someone threw a big old green dildo on the floor. Someone threw a dildo out on the floor, out on the court. They had to stop the game. I don't know if they caught the person who sent the dildo, but the green dildo was on the court, and a large number of the players had no idea what to do with something of that shape, but that's okay. It happened, and then someone made this t-shirt or this meme, pay us what you owe us, which has a dildo on it. So that was fun. Hey, you know what the really good interrupt violence through community-based bystander training? Yeah, if the bystanders beat the fuck out of someone who's attacking somebody else, that would be great bystander training. They could send them to the MMA gym, you know, put them in an arm bar, smack them in the face a few times. Stop doing that bullshit. That would be the best community-based bystander training, but I don't think that's what he means. Anyway. And then the other one, they'll go back all the way to Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's the other one, which, does anyone, okay, let me ask you something. A lot of you are right-leaning on the right. Is there anybody in this that you, anyone you know of? Is there anyone that you know of on the right who supports or supported Dylan Roof? Because I know everyone I can think of who's like, Dylan Roof, fuck that guy. He went out and murdered people in a church. Fuck that guy. But the left is like, oh, he was a right-wing extremist. Nah, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck Dylan Roof. Nobody gives a shit about Dylan Roof. Nobody claims him. Nobody wants him. He's an asshole. Okay? He's a little punk bitch asshole who killed a bunch of people in the church. Stand by. The program will begin soon. Reverend Robin Bartlett of First Church of Sterling, Massachusetts, uses John 1:14 of the Bible to justify why she brings her 11-year-old son to drag shows. This is what we're getting in the Rainbow Church. The Rainbow Church aren't exactly hiding. That's true. The Word became flesh and lived among us, and my body, your body, their bodies are home for the living God. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leaders, Kate, and her 11-year-old boy. Especially if you're a man, bodies can be celebrated and played with. That's her message. What the fuck? California wants to let someone that is not related to your child remove her from school, him or her, enroll her in any other school in the state, authorize any medical treatment, including mental health services and drugs, without the parent's notice and knowledge or consent. Can you see where that might be a problem? This is not fear-mongering. I'm not being hyperbolic, she warned. These are unintended consequences, and it is terrifying. They are unconscionable or unavoidable. So that's one really bad California law that they're coming with. I can't believe. I'm just dumbfounded that they're doing it. Now this is interesting. That new mayor candidate, the leading Democratic mayor candidate for New York City mayor, Damme, wants cops to stop responding to attacks on Jews. And by the way, Jews in the New York City are victims of the majority of hate crimes. Not a plurality, but the majority of hate crimes against people in New York are against Jewish people. And you know, especially religious hate crimes. Anyway, 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, more than all other minority groups combined, according to the New York Police Department data. Anti-Jewish crimes accounted for 54% of the 641 total hate crimes reported to police in the city in 2024. Since the beginning of the year, 60% of the 123 recorded hate crimes have targeted Jews, according to the New York Police Department. Well, Zohran Mamdani, the radical Islamist and leftist terrorist supporter, has proposed that New York Police Department not respond to hate crimes, instead that they be handled by social workers. Either this shifts resources away from responding to attacks on Jews and moves away from having law enforcement deal with those attacks, and instead has his political leftist allies deal with them by burying them. Right? Show. If I put something on the screen, or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Hey! It's Fat Albert. No, it's not. It's me. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where we, today we're going to do that, I'm going to do that thing that people do on YouTube called reactions. Do reaction to this guy, just because someone said, hey, you got to watch this, and so I watched part of it, and then we'll watch the whole thing and go through it. If you don't like this kind of stuff, I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to do for the beginning of the show, and then I do have some news too, because I have news before that, and I have news after it. But I want to show you this because this is pretty good. Why is he on a covered bridge though? I don't know. That I'm not understanding it, but we'll find out anyway. Happy Tuesday, the 7th of October. 2025. Yeah, it's the October 7th anniversary for that thing that happened over in Israel, that awful day there. And they're still at war because those hostages aren't giving up. I think they made some kind of a deal that they're kind of preliminary, possibly could happen again and whatever. We'll see what happens there. But so that's today. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff today. But first, of course, I got to say hi to everybody because, that's what I do. And there's a lot of you here. By the way, Miss Wildwolf, are you here? I got your text or your message, Miss Wildwolf. I saw it. Yes, we will converse on that in some way, shape, or form. So let's say hi and get it going. First in the chat today is wait a minute. Oh my goodness, the young lady has prevailed. Midnight got here first, gets the bell. Whoa! Congratulations, you edged out the man, Avocado Stably, who's also here. Also, good morning. Yeah, on mine, it's midnight. Midnight beats you with a little just punctuation there. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg. Blue-eyed screams in the house. Got to scroll down to find anybody else. Y'all were here quick. The Pope. Yes, Pope Tyrannius III, the Blessed Lich, with the daily blessing of the show. Blessings of the Holy Ghost be upon you yesterday, today, tomorrow, past, present, future. You were, you are, you will be the difference only 24 hours can make, my crawling babes. Yes, you will be here. Also, good morning, Darren Root. What's up? Ms. Wild Wolf. And it's a little light today because people are taking their time getting in the chat. Oh, Selected Boys in the house. Yeah, good morning. Boy. Also, my other favorite Canadian, Unacceptable Views. Johnny Boomer Tech on the board over there. Right over there. Green Badger Outdoors, what's up? And is that it? That's it. There's people still trying to figure out that we're here because, YouTube's not great about sending out the notifications. 16 people, 8 likes. We're at a 550. You're batting 500 people. Let's get that at least to 750 for those who partake in the punching of the like button. And pretend the like button's a Nazi. Go punch that Nazi. Okay, enough of that shit. Today's coffee is brought to you by Split Rock. I almost said casino. Split Rock Lighthouse up north of what are the falls up there? What's the first falls when you get to north of Duluth, Lake Superior? Something Falls. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it's up there somewhere. It's up in northern Minnesota on Lake Superior, the most beautiful lighthouse in the world. And I'm sticking to it. It's a beautiful lighthouse, actually, especially in the fall when the trees around it are all fall colory and shit, and you get the sunshine coming down on this beautiful yellow glow, and you're looking at it. It's sitting way up on a rock. You can kind of see it in the picture there, and it's very, very cool. So, So Somnambule Nation's in the house. Good morning. How you doing? Also, thanks to the people sharing the show. Of course, it's very important that you share the show. It helps me a lot. What the hell happened? Okay. I do. Okay. So let me get my notifications out here and we'll just peruse through those and share some of those. And I'm sure I saw Somnambule Nation already. It was like one of the first ones. There it is. Somnambule Nation had the first one out there. Thank you for doing that, of course, always. And on my way, let's go. Oh, good Lord. It's Handyman from In Living Color. You know they couldn't get away with that shit today. Or maybe they could. Maybe I wonder what the cerebral palsy community thought of that old Handyman skit they used to do on In Living Color. He'd probably get canceled immediately. Also, good morning. Thank you, Mike Savage, the daily Let Us Go. Appreciate that. People sharing the retweeting stuff. Ms. Wild Wolf, thank you for retweeting. And Ms. Wild Wolf, the Let's Go. What is that? What the bloody hell was that? I don't know what that's from, but it's a cartoon where some monsters being dragged. Hello, Bookworm Addict, by the way. Good morning. And Green Badger Outdoor with a fighter jet. Love it. That jet's definitely going. Let's go. And then Tired Alexander's Daily Ric Flair and the Woo! 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 He used to always shrug his shoulder when he did it too. Woo! It's always fun. Thank you for Tyre, obviously. And Amazing Disgrace. Uh-oh. The dog's getting into the Bud Light Shaky Dave's security system. That's how you protect your beer. Get a dog that'll protect your beer. And then people retweet the show Amazing Disgrace and Tyre Alexander, Ms. Wild Wolf, and Somnambule Nation. So thanks everyone doing that. And as people pop in the chat, I will say hi to you eventually. I'll figure it out that you're here. Let's get into the show. Today is a very important holiday today, ladies and gentlemen. It's not only Taco Tuesday, but it's National Taco Day. All right. Happy National Taco Day. Now, let's see. National Taco Day moves to the first Tuesday in October amid chain promotions. Okay, this is because of what? Okay, hang on a second here. National Taco Day shifted from October 4th to the first Tuesday in October, landing on October 7th, 2025, following Taco Bell's successful campaign to align it with Taco Tuesday. Oh, right. Major chains, including Taco Bell, Del Taco, Moe's, Southwest Grill, and Jack in the Box are offering deals such as $1 tacos, free items with app purchases, and discounted combos available today only at participating locations nationwide. Independent eateries and food trucks are also participating with custom promotions to attract taco enthusiasts across the state. Now, if you go get a Taco Tuesday or National Taco Day and you go to Taco Bell, I'm losing all respect for you right now. Okay. No, don't get no tacos at Taco Bell. Go get some real tacos. Oh, those look good. Who did those? Look at these. Those are some good looking tacos right there. I don't know. Those look like some homemade shit because those tortillas look homemade. Hello, Little Wolfie. What's up? Are you new? Little Wolfie. Is that a different name? Someone change your name? Hello, Anna Lynn. Also, Lord Stanhope's in the house too. I see you. There you are. Anyway, so happy National Taco Day. Now, there are a couple different threads on this. Now, these are, cheesy taco tortilla wrap hack. Okay, that's someone just making their own tacos. But anyway, now let's see. Big thanks to, someone here, El Dorado Cantina and the Cantina for National Taco Day. Oh, I see. They have some special tacos. Anyway, by the way, you got to be careful. Oh, I got to be careful. I got to be careful. If I scroll on National Taco Day, Little Wolfie's Ms. Wild Wolf's son. Okay, I hear you got an idea. We'll talk about your idea sometime soon. You got to be careful scrolling on National Taco Day, and you know why. If you don't, well, never mind. I shouldn't say that out loud. There's children in the room. But let me see. I'm going to find a really good looking taco here. Let's see. Let's find a good taco. Hang on. I saw, this thing refreshed and it's changed now. Okay, wait a minute. Somebody explain this to me. Somebody explain what the hell that is. Oh my God, what the hell is that? Okay, let me scroll safely again, because there was, gosh, what happened to the ones that looked really good? There was some someone that had like, you know, like, look, so our neighbors at our old house, were a combination family of Mexican and Americans, because the husband was from Mexico, and his brother lived with them, and they had the wife was American of Mexican descent, and dude, they made some of the best tacos, just like homemade tacos. They'd go put the tortillas over on the grill, and they'd have some bunch of meat cooking and stuff, and just everything was a taco. It didn't matter. It wasn't like going to Taco Bell. You had some real meat and chicken and whatever in the tacos. And so I saw a picture of one that looked awesome, and now I can't find it, and I'm bummed. At least I've seen it. Okay, not so fortunately I haven't seen any of the other reference taco as I've scrolled, thank God. But well, fuck it. Oh, there it is. I found it. This. Oh, look at. Here. Hold on. Turn that music off. Turn that music off. Wait, hold up. Now, I'm going to start this from the beginning. I know I'm teasing you here, but I don't know what La Lupe is. I have no idea what La Lupe is, but look at this bad boy. Oh, now that looks good. Looks like it has some grilled pineapple on it and some meat and some, I don't know. That's a taco right there. That's what a taco should look like. That's some good shit. My mouth's watering. Okay, enough of that. It's Happy National Taco Day. I really went too long on that. Other holidays today include National Frappe Day. Is that how you say it? Frappe? Frappe? It's a kind of a frozen coffee drink crap. National Taco Day. National Forgiveness and Happy Day. That's a happiness day. That's important. When you forgive people, sometimes you make yourself happy. It makes you feel better, and it takes some stress off your life. You Matter to Me Day. Oh, that's so sweet. National Fruit at Work Day. I wish they wouldn't talk about my friend like that. National Inner Beauty Day and World Cotton Day. Don't tell Serena Williams she got mad about that cotton decoration in the hallway of a hotel. National LED Light Day, Ancestors Day, International Day of Peaceful Communication, National Jonathan Day, whatever. And it's Labor Day in Australia. Okay, that's the holidays today. Where's my Australian friends? Is Rock Hopper here? Whatever. My other Australian friend doesn't show up anymore either. That kind of bums me out. Okay, what the hell's going on with my Ring camera? Is there somebody outside? Oh, no, that's some neighborhood alerts. Okay. And then also it's the Catholics, all my Catholic friends. It's Our Lady of the Rosary Day, Blessed Feast of Our Lady of the Rosary on October 7th, 2 years after the Vatican urged the Rosary for universal use. An event took place that caused the devotion to gain widespread popularity. One of the most famous and bloodiest naval battles in history took place on that day, on the day of Lepanto, off the coast of Greece. Opposing forces were Christians made up of an alliance of the fleet from Spain and Italy against a far superior Turkish navy. The Muslim force was threatening to take over the Mediterranean Sea and hence be in a position to attack European countries. Pope Pius V asked the Christian faithful to pray the rosary and seek the intercession of the Blessed Mother to defeat the Muslim navy. Despite being outnumbered, the Christian fleet prevailed. Accordingly, Pope Pius established October 7th as a feast day of Our Lady of Victory, thus perpetually bringing honor to the Blessed Mother for her assistance in 1573. Pope Gregory XIII changed the name of the feast to Our Lady of the Rosary, a feast the church continues to celebrate. So there you go. That's the history of the Feast of Our Lady of the Rosary, formerly known as the Our Lady of Victory. So there you go. That's the... Oh my God. I looked out at the chat and saw what Advocatus Diaboli wrote, and I'm not saying it. I'm just going to laugh at it. Good Lord. Good Lord. You need Jesus. Okay, moving on. Also, we're commemorating, well, I guess, not in the United States, but we're remembering October 7th for the honoring the victims of October 7th, 2023 in Israel. That war is still going on. And, you know, my take on that is Israel is its own country. Let them do what they're going to do to win that war. We don't necessarily have to fund it, but I am full on support of their right to win that war on their own terms. And fuck Hamas. Is that clear? Fuck Hamas. All right. Couple newsy items. I'm going to do a real quick, just highlight this, and then I'm going to come back to it after we do this reaction to this video, because I want to make sure I get time to react to this video that someone sent me. Instead, it was really good, and I saw the beginning of it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be deep, so we're going to check that out. Not my normal thing here. I'm not normally one of these people who watch videos and react to it. It's a music video, in fact, by a rapper, and so somebody might not even be into that. But the message sounds like it was going in the great direction, so I want to check it out. So we'll do that. Good morning, Anon. 1, 2, 3, and Rick Ashbringer. So, but anyway, the big news from yesterday, and that's most of the articles I have open are about this, regarding this this FBI memo that revealed that the surveillance of 8 GOP senators in the Arctic Frost probe, that's the Jack Smith thing, right? So it disclosed FBI memo authorized the collection of phone records from 8 Republican senators, including Lindsey Graham and Josh Hawley, during the Arctic Frost investigation linked to the January 6, 2021 events for special counsel Jack Smith's case against Donald Trump. The surveillance targeted communications from January 4th through 7th, 2021, and extended to nearly 100 Republican organizations, such as the Republican National Committee. Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley condemned the actions as worse than Watergate, leading to calls for the Justice Department accountability from the affected lawmakers. So we'll get into that, but that's a pretty fucked up shit. And we'll get to I have the PJ article, PJ Media article here, and then a few other things that we'll go through that are trending. But before we do that, as you know, hello, Midnight Exiles in the house. What's up? BB's been spending his night staying up late trying to figure out how to get away with killing Candace Owens. Well, if you ask Candace, I'm sure she's thinking that. See, here's the thing. It's not like the Israelis aren't adept at doing that kind of stuff. If they really were gonna go after Candace Owens, wouldn't they have done it by now? I mean, they're good at that. You know, they did the pager thing. The pager thing. So I'm just saying. Anyway, that's not what we're gonna do right now. I got this video from, I don't even remember who I got it from. Someone who just said, "Hey, you should check this out." It's a video called "Tipping Point." This rapper's named Samson, young white dude. Hello, Special Can. I said, "What up?" No, they're holding their fire because they know everyone would know. They didn't expect so many people to figure out they killed Charlie Kirk so quickly. You're on that tip. Yeah, look, there's a lot of questions about that whole situation. And I haven't gone deep into the conspiracy theories yet, but some of the things that they say happen seem questionable. Let's just say that. But also, with wild speculation sometimes comes wild swing and a miss too. So that's something that needs to be figured out. But I want to do this right now. Okay. This is an interesting video. I guess it relates to Charlie Kirk. This dude did a video. This is a young rap artist. Internet rap artist, and I wanted to play it and go through it and do a reaction video. So here we go. This is it. This is called Tipping Point, and I'm going to stop and start it during this. And why is that going on here? Hang on a second. Let me just fix one thing before we do that, and we'll see if this works. Just make sure. Want to move that shadow off of there a little bit. If that works, we'll see. It kind of worked. All right. All right, let's and I've seen this guy before. He has some conservative leanings and stuff. Is this going to be about cows? No, it's not going to be about cows. It's funny. And he's a moderate conservative guy, but has very interesting rap style, and so we're going to go through it. This is Tipping Point by someone named Samson. Kind of like how it starts, though. Little jazz feel to it.
Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk and bless his family. I know the devil's hard at work. I can't even fathom all the grief and pain that y'all have went through. My thoughts are nearly...
Let me just stop right here. I kind of like the beat already. It seems simple. This guy usually just does a beat. He'll do a full set without really having a hook, like a hook. He'll just kind of stream of conscious rapping. So obviously it's about Charlie Kirk. Here we go.
Possible to explain, but I'll attempt to. I've already written like 5 intros, so many wasted paragraphs and revised pen strokes. There's just so many things I want to say, and I don't want to say I'm wrong. I don't know how many times I almost threw away this song. But I feel an obligation. I have a platform, and people want my observation.
Interesting here too. This just came out a couple days ago. Like, I know there's like Tom McDonald already did one like right after Charlie Kirk was killed. I've seen a couple others put out rap. This guy, when he said he's started over 5 times or whatever, that may be why it took him so long to put this out. It's very interesting.
This one is complicated, I go back and forth on it. The facts are distorted so much I'm half and half, I'm torn on it. Trying to grasp the scope of this, and so I'm asking if there's more to it. Reading way too much and end up actually just warping it. Too many voices echoing, reporting everything. How you supposed to comb through all these different passages and sort it? There's so much information out there, it can make you feel like you don't know what's fake or real. Way too many Facebook reels. Shit, it's almost like it's done on purpose just to make us...
I'm going to stop again. Interesting. He talks about, because all the stuff that was put out about Charlie Kirk and how people are distorting whatever. So that's interesting that he says that. And then just, all the stuff, the reels and stuff, people celebrating, some people mourning, whatever. So that's interesting. I'm going to pull it back again here so you can hear that again.
Reporting everything. How you supposed to comb through all these different passages and sort it? There's so much information out there, it can make you feel like you don't know what's fake or real. Way too many Facebook reels. Shit, it's almost like it's done on purpose just to make us chase our tails. I wish someone would wake me up and offer me those Matrix pills so I can...
That's interesting. Oh, what did he say there? Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me play this again.
Like you don't know what's fake or real. Way too many Facebook reels. Shit, it's almost like it's done on purpose just to make us chase our tails. I wish someone would wake me up and offer me those Matrix pills so I could see through all the tints and...
Those Matrix pills, it's sorting through it. Red and blue. The red and blue Matrix pills so you can see what's going on.
The facade, but I can't, so I feel like I should give this up to God, cause it's a lot and I could use some guidance, cause I'm struggling. I got 2 different sides that are inside of me just tugging. My heart tells me fuck these nasty individuals, so despicable, fucking trash, I bet they're miserable. Couldn't last in a debate, so they had to get physical. Got smashed verbally, so they resorted back to trigger pulls.
Wow. Now, as you're listening, hello, GDSOB. What's fascinating about that, I like how he talks about how all these people, they said what they say when they're miserable and they couldn't listen to facts, so they resort to trigger pulls. Kind of obviously it's a play on the gun, but also just the fact they're all triggered too.
I got 2 different sides that are inside of me just tugging. My heart tells me fuck these nasty individuals, so despicable, fucking trash, I bet they're miserable. Couldn't last in a debate, so they had to get physical. Got smashed verbally, so they resorted back to trigger pulls.
That's
all he
hard.
Did was talk, he debated, that was all. Never held a position in office or made any laws. He created an organization to display his faith. He sat right in front of your face and had conversations with y'all.
Man, so yeah, I mean, emphasizing this guy was not a politician. He wasn't sure he was political, but he wasn't a politician. He wasn't writing your laws. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
He created an organization to display his faith. He sat right in front of your face and had conversations with y'all. He spoke. He never suspended your rights. Never signed a single fucking bill that affected your life. What exactly did he do that directly impacted you?
Nothing.
Instead of saying a couple of sentences that you disliked.
Oh!
Took a couple quotes out of their context and flipped it. Cut out the important parts and conveniently left them missing. And even then it still didn't sound that aggressive shit. If you thought that was radical, then we got different definitions.
So people twisted his words, and obviously, because we've seen that nonstop. So he talks about that. Here, hang on.
And you go and compare him to George Floyd because he was a father too.
Oh shit!
Oh boy, what?
He brought up George Floyd because a lot of people were comparing him to George Floyd. Oh, well, George Floyd was a father too. Well, isn't that a little different? Granted. What was happening when each of them, how did they get in the situation where they were in their demise? Charlie Kirk was in front of a bunch of college students offering to talk to them. George Floyd was in the middle of another felony. Doesn't make him worthy of death, but they are not the same. Oh, they were both fathers. Well, George Floyd was committing a crime and had a major criminal history. I mean, come on. Why are you comparing the two? I'm going to go back just a little bit.
George Floyd, because he was a father too. Fucking oh boy, what a wild thing to say. I don't gotta even explain. It's two way different things. This shit is not even the same.
Yep.
You can't trust someone that you don't personally know, so I can never say for sure that Charlie Kirk would be my bro. But if I were to go off of reputation alone, I would never fucking let George Floyd into my home.
Oh, shit. Oh, he's a racist now. That's racist.
That's racist!
It has nothing to do with, it has to do with who George Floyd was, not with what he looks like. It has to do with George Floyd, who he was, not what he looks like.
Know, so I can never say for sure that Charlie Kirk would be my bro. But if I were to go off of reputation alone, I would never fucking let George Floyd into my home. And it's got nothing to do with his race or his skin complexion. Nah, it's more to do with his lengthy criminal record. Yeah, it's more because the drug possessions and the robberies and home invasions, I would trust him less around my property.
I just have one thing to say to that. I want to ask that to liberals when they bring that up too. When they bring up, George Floyd. And look, no one needed to make fun of George Floyd for dying. I mean, the memes the memes are kind of cruel. Just if you think to his daughter, to his family, whatever. I mean, somebody loved him, even though he was estranged from them. But I gotta ask liberals, hey, who would you let into your home if you had a choice of letting someone into your home? Would it be George Floyd or would it be Charlie Kirk? Now, because they have this tunnel vision, they're going to say, they'll say George Floyd just to say George Floyd. Oh, Charlie Kirk was a racist. Charlie Kirk was blah, blah, blah. Who would you, okay, let's ask the question a different way. Who would you trust in your home if you had to leave for a half hour? Something came up, you had to leave for a half hour, you'd be back in 30 minutes. Who would you trust in your home when you left? Look, from what I know, I would trust Charlie Kirk long before I'd trust George Floyd. And that's just what happened. That's just for what we know about George Floyd, right?
Shouldn't make a mockery of him. I acknowledge that.
Hang on, let me go back a little bit.
Lengthy criminal record, yeah, it's more even the same. You can't trust someone that you don't personally know, so I could never say for sure that Charlie Kirk would be my bro. But if I were to go off of reputation alone, I would never fucking let George Floyd into my home. And it's got nothing to do with his race or his skin complexion. Nah, it's more to do with his lengthy criminal record. Yeah, it's more because the drug possessions and the robberies and home invasions, I would trust him less around my property. We shouldn't make a mockery of him, I acknowledge that. Just because he was a criminal, we shouldn't pile on that. I won't say I'm
you know, yeah, you're not, you don't want to make a mockery of him. Okay. He was kind of the vessel for a movement, right? But you shouldn't make a mockery of him. Even if you believe he died from fentanyl poisoning, making a mockery of his death. But what did he say? Hang on a second. He said, didn't make it a mockery. And then let me go back again here. I missed this.
Nothing to do with his race or his skin complexion. Nah, it's more to do with his lengthy criminal record. Yeah, it's more because the drug possessions and the robberies and home invasions, I would trust him less around my property. We shouldn't make a mockery of him, I acknowledge that. Just because he was a criminal.
How he emphasizes, even though he's saying, emphasize he's a criminal, notice how criminal punches that out, but then this next line.
We shouldn't pile on that. I won't.
Even because he was a criminal, we shouldn't pile on that. Unless you're inviting them into your home, right?
Say I'm glad that he's dead or claim he deserved it, but don't act like for 1 second of him. I acknowledge that. Just because he was a criminal, we shouldn't pile on that. I won't say I'm glad that he's dead or claim he deserved it, but don't act
like they did for Charlie Kirk. They claimed he deserved it.
Second that this was the same person. Just check out the reactions to their deaths, quite the opposite. Look what y'all did and look at our response to it. Instead of riots in the streets, we prayed quietly in peace. We never let our emotions go, we tied them to a leash. We never flipped and flew off the handle and got shitty and left the town crawling with vandals and cops.
That's right.
Shit was gritty. What we saw on the channels was not pretty. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities.
Oh my. Whoa! He went off there. He went off. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities.
That he's dead or claim he deserved it, but don't act like for 1 second that this was the same
hear
person.
this again.
Just check out the reactions to their deaths, quite the opposite. Look what y'all did and look at our response to it. Instead of
now, that's interesting too. He says, "Look what y'all did." And look at our responses. He's putting himself on a side for sure. This isn't just a new revelation. He's putting himself on a side. His name is Samson, Samson. He's on YouTube.
riots in the streets, we prayed quietly in peace. We never let our emotions go, we tied them to a leash. We never flipped
our emotions to a
handle
leash.
And got shitty and left the town crawling with vandals and cops spitting. Shit was gritty, what we saw on the channels was not pretty. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities.
That's a hard line right there. The only thing we burned was candles, not cities. And that was, that's a lot of people noted that fact. The difference between the death of George Floyd, the death of Charlie Kirk, was the reaction. The reaction was completely different. You had people praying. And in fact, not only did you have people praying, but you had people disrupting people praying for Charlie Kirk. So that even the reaction to people praying for Charlie Kirk had people vandalizing and disrupting memorials for Charlie Kirk. So even that reaction is just filled with hate and rage. Who's the side of hate and rage? They always say, you hate, you're full of hate, but you exhibit hate constantly. It's amazing. Hello, Damme Larry.
So get the fuck out of my face with all these comparisons. Y'all are embarrassing. We can't even call you Americans. You follow a narrative, such a typical situation. The minute something changes, these liberals switch their places. There's something wrong with you if you celebrated his death. You say the right is full of spite, but there's hella hate on the left.
No! Yep.
It's weird It's almost like this shit melted away your stress. I never saw somebody die and then felt elated or blessed, but it makes sense.
And boy, did they show elation. Some of them. Now, it wasn't everyone on the left, but everyone on the left, in the same sentence, they would say, yeah, we don't condone this political violence, but then I'm going to tell you 17 ways that Charlie Kirk was a shitty person and deserved the political violence. That was the narrative. I mean, even if they didn't speak it that way, that was their narrative. Fascinating. Go back here. Oh, come on, mouse. There we go.
Almost like this shit melted away your stress. I never saw somebody die and then felt elated or blessed, but it makes sense. Your party's been stirring the shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See, they rile up their base until they pile up their hatred. And now look, all of a sudden gun violence is their favorite. The minute Jimmy...
Yeah, it's funny how they mocked Charlie Kirk because he died with the gun, because they thought it was funny. That, you know what I mean? They mocked him. Saying, oh, well, he deserved it. He advocated for this. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, now you're not upset about gun violence. You're not upset about this gun violence. You're not upset about gun violence if it's aimed at the right direction for your sensibilities, right?
Kimmel got pulled from the air at night. The First Amendment became the left. Your party's been stirring the shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See, they rile up their base until they pile up their hatred. And now look, all of a sudden gun violence is their favorite.
Oh, and he also, the part where he said the politicians stirring this up, countless videos of politicians stirring this up and making this, like, encouraging violence, even though they say the violent rhetoric from the right, but there's tons of examples of Democrat politicians encouraging to go out there and punch somebody in the face, or put, Donald Trump deserves to be punched in the nose. When of course, now Johnny Depp made the thing about the bullet, but you know what I'm saying? There's a ton of violent rhetoric on the left, and even though they say our rhetoric is dangerous.
Such a typical situation. The minute something changes, these liberals switch their places. There's something wrong with you if you celebrated his death. You say the right is full of spite, but there's hella hate on the left. It's weird, it's almost like this shit melted away your stress. I never saw somebody die and then felt elated or blessed, but it makes sense. Your party's been stirring the shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See, they rile up their base until they pile up their hatred. And now look, all of a sudden gun violence is their favorite. The minute Jimmy Kimmel got pulled from the air at night, the First Amendment became the left's most sacred, cherished right. Now,
yeah, they didn't give a shit when any people on the right got pulled off of social media, taken off of TV shows. Tim Allen, just because he supported Trump, lost his show. The top-rated sitcom. Roseanne Barr, she said it was kind of dumb no matter who it was, but she didn't know Valley Jared or whatever name was black. But they cheered when those people were saying. They cheered when what the hell's her name? The Star Wars chick that got pulled. They cheered. They celebrated that. They didn't say shit about the First Amendment then. Oh my God, but Jimmy Kimmel gets suspended for a couple days. She does look like someone from Planet of the Apes. Stop. Anyway.
One should be punished for their words. It's so important. You're right. Imagine being murdered for it.
Oh, shit. Hello. Yeah, it's Gina Carano. Hold on. You got to hear this line.
Elated or blessed, but it makes sense. Your party's been stirring the shit. There's countless videos of politicians encouraging this. See, they rile up the minute Jimmy Kimmel got pulled from the air at night, the First Amendment became the left's most sacred, cherished right. Now no one should be punished for their words. It's so important. You're right. Imagine being murdered for it.
Oh!
I feel like my music has been pretty moderate. I never lean too hard in one direction or the opposite.
But what now?
Yeah, it's obvious that I'm conservative, but watch my shit. I think I do a pretty good job at keeping my common sense. But lately I've been ain't giving less of a fuck. I got a headache, I'm so fed up with the left and their stunts. From the messages they pump, a bunch of pedos peddling junk. I used to separate you, now I just think everyone sucks. I'll never be friends with you, ugh. Nah, fuck it, dog, I'm serious. How the fuck can you relate to somebody who cheers for this? Y'all are weird for this. I'm done salvaging relationships. I ain't picking up broken pieces off the ground and saving it. If you can't say that this is bad and just agree it's heinous, then I don't give a fuck if you unfollow me or hate this. It sucks. This shit has done massive amounts of damage, and you know, it's probably exactly how they planned it.
Ew. That last line, hey, where are you at? Midnight, are you still here? That last line was just for you, I bet. That last line was for you. Listen, we'll play this listen to the last line and think about the last line of the song.
Y'all are weird for this. I'm done salvaging relationships. I ain't picking up broken pieces off the ground and saving it. If you can't say that this is bad and just agree it's heinous, then I don't give a fuck if you unfollow me or hate this. It sucks. This shit has done massive amounts of damage, and you know, it's probably exactly how they planned it.
Let's say there is a Midnight in Exile. They say exactly how they planned it. Let's say it is some outside entity, the Russians or the Israel or whatever. Think the death of Charlie Kirk stirred up some sentiments out there. I'll leave this video be in the links, by the way. It's Samson, Samson. I put it in the chat. There's a lot going on in this beat, this rap. And you know, his style's good too. I mean, he finds great ways to link words together and all that stuff. The style. I'm not an aficionado on rap styles, but the message, man, is wild. And it reminds me, you know, as I listen to that, I think about, you know, my feelings. I didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about Charlie Kirk because I'm still trying to reconcile lots of things about it, my total feelings about it, what I want to write about it or what I want to say about it. You know, it pissed me off that there was so much twisting of the words, the fine peopling of Charlie Kirk, so to speak. Tons of that. And just the people who cheered it, I'm like, what kind of ghoul do you have to be to cheer it? But again, the language that a segment of the left, and a lot of it, a large segment, including some Democrats, whatever, when they start comparing people to Hitler, they start comparing you to fascists, they start giving you these labels of things that are okay to destroy, okay to use violence on, okay? If you're just on the right, no, you know, you're not going to go attack a right. But if you're a fascist or you're a Nazi, that gives them license to punch. That gives them license to do violence to you. It's a dehumanization. They always talk about how the right is dehumanizing people, but what do? They constantly dehumanize people. They constantly put you in that. They label you in that section of society that doesn't deserve to live, that doesn't deserve to be able to even speak because you're so dangerous. And it's dangerous in itself. So anyway, so that video will be in the links today. Thank you, TC, first sponsor of the day. That makes you the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day. Says this government shutdown is hurting my American friends. I will sleep with Maxine Waters to get her to vote for funding for your government.
Your life makes me sad.
Okay, the truth is, thank you for taking one for the team, TC. I appreciate it. I don't know if that'll do it, but, you know, good for you. Good for you. All right. 10:15. Okay, yeah, let's go into. I want to touch on this this revelation over the last day or so. And here's the article in PJ Media about this. Hi, Jen T. What's up? What up, Jen? Oh, and Special Can Acid. What's up? Jack Smith spied on 8 GOP senators, according to Chuck Grassley, the FBI and Justice Department special counsel, and unconstitutionally appointed Biden attack dog, Jack Smith. Yes, he was not properly appointed. Tracked the private communications of multiple Republican senators, according to a shocking new allegation. Smith, whom U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon ruled was unconstitutionally appointed to go after then presidential candidate Donald Trump, has a myriad of scandals in his past, including accusations of witness payoffs and illegal wiretaps from former Representative Rick Renzi of Arizona. But this new scandal shows that the scope of Smith's sketchy activities under the Biden administration was much larger than previously realized. Senator Chuck Grassley posted a partially redacted document on X Monday morning. He said that the Biden FBI spied on Republican senators in an initiative weaponized by Smith. Here's the tweet from Chuck Grassley. This document shows Biden FBI spied on 8 of my Republican Senate colleagues during its Arctic Frost investigation into election conspiracy. Arctic Frost later became Jack Smith's elector case against Trump. So apparently Fox News obtained the alarming revelations first, posting on X basically the same thing. I'm not going to read it again because it's the same line over and over, but Republican senators targeted by Smith and the FBI were Josh Hawley of Missouri, Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Dan Sullivan of Alaska, Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, and GOP Representative Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania, per the Fox article. The document was titled Arctic Frost, Election Law Matters, Sensitive Investigative Matter - Cast. Now, one of Smith's special agents conducted preliminary toll analysis of the senator's multiple record. Smith and his team not only viewed the phone numbers the senators called, but the locations of both parties. The surveillance was reportedly tied to the campaign related to the 2020 election certification vote. And so there's let's see, I'll put a link to the Fox article. Lots of people on the internet's talking about this, especially on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Here's Chuck Grassley's original tweet, which I'll make separate right behind the article from PJ Media. We'll drop that in there. And then, by the way, and this is a reminder that this photo was staged. Anyone with a functioning brain knew it. It was also confirmed by Judge Cannon. Now he was also spying on United States senators. This person's calling for the arrest of Jack Smith. Bill Hagerty, who's on that list, says, well, here, let's see what he says without listening to the tweet. Let's listen to what Bill Hagerty has to say.
Senator Hagerty.
Thank you, Senator Johnson. And Chairman Grassley, thank you for your leadership in making this happen. This is an extraordinary revelation that just took place this afternoon. My colleagues and I found out, all of us Republicans, by the way, that we were placed under investigation by this FBI, under the Joe Biden FBI that was led, I presume, by Jack Smith and his predecessors. This isn't the first time that it's happened, though. Senator Johnson just mentioned this. I served on the Trump transition team in Trump Tower in 2016. Senator Blackburn was vice chair of the transition committee then, as were probably a dozen or more members of Congress. To think that we were surveilled by the Obama FBI. This corruption runs deep, and it's gone on for far too long. And the fact that it's happened here again, the fact that they are looking at our records in 2023, sitting members of the United States Senate. Again, the only thing that we have in common, the only thing in common in this entire list is that we're all Republicans. They've decided to come after us. This is as partisan as it gets. The FBI and the corruption that's running there has to be cleared out. Thank God we have Kash Patel and Dan Bongino there. This has to be addressed. It has to be resolved. It needs to happen today.
Why are they in a half-lit closet? I don't know, man. That's some bad lighting. They need a press room or something. Anyway, so that's Bill Hagerty reacting to that. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to scroll down. Someone says Pam Bondi has been handed overwhelming evidence. The Russia hoax exposed by Tulsi Gabbard, Jack Smith illegal spying on sitting U.S. senators, mortgage fraud committed by Letitia James, mortgage fraud committed by Adam Schiff, Mayor Brennan Johnson, and Governor Pritzker openly defying federal law and calling for violence against ICE agents. And after all that, the only thing Pam Bondi has managed to do is indict James Comey for lying to Congress. No perp walk, no arrest, no mugshot, nothing. What a joke. I'm sure we'll get a mugshot of Comey eventually. Maybe. Anyway, here's Chuck Grassley talking about it.
Solicitation of these telephone records, which I think emphasizes the political weaponization that was behind all this effort. And we're still getting more information.
Okay, okay, I gotta stop. I can't listen to Chuck. I can't. It's almost as hard as listening to Robert Kennedy Jr. Anyway, we read what he said. Oh, wait. Let's see. Remember this? Adam Schiff being nervous about Jack Smith being investigated. He was terrified, more triggered than usual. Schiff knew exactly what Jack Smith did. He knew exactly what was hidden. Oh, this is when he was talking to Pam Bondi during the confirmation hearing. Let's hear this. Remember this?
The president has...
This is memories like the corners of my mind. Misty watercolors, memories of the pencil neck from California.
Said Jack Smith should go to jail. Will you investigate Jack Smith?
Well, should he be?
Senator, I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without, you're a long practicing attorney, without looking at a file.
So you would need a factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith.
Well,
not a summary by you sitting here.
Seems like there might be a
Not a summary
factual
by
predicate.
the president either, right?
Absolutely.
So a summary by the president or his desire to investigate Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith. Is that right?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case. You know,
and sitting here.
Okay, you know what happened here. We've seen this. We watched this back when it happened. But he's very concerned about Jack Smith being investigated. Now, here's something that would be fascinating. Now that we know that Jack Smith was investigating some senators, I'm just curious, did Adam Schiff have anything going with Jack Smith at the time? By the way, good morning, Richard Head. How you doing, Dick? Nice to see you. Did Jack Smith know? Or excuse me, did Pensneth, Adam Schiff know about any of this? So a lot of people saying Jack Smith should be arrested. Other things trending, Senate Judiciary Committee. Someone here says, this is Laura Loomer. Sometimes I hate reading what Laura Loomer has to say, and every once in a while she says something that makes sense. But here is Pam Bondi's opening remarks before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Let's listen to what Pam Bondi said. This was, I believe, this morning. I think this is today because she's in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. That's why they're trending.
They are a critical reminder of our central mission here at the Department of Justice, protecting the safety and security of the American people. That is why, even when the government is otherwise shut down because of the Democrats, the department's law enforcement officers...
Because of the Democrats. Well, look, would the government have been shut down had the Democrats had just voted for that continuing resolution? The what is it? Whatever you call it, the continued funding at current levels. The same one they voted for in March. They can fight about the Medicare and they can fight about the subsidies for the Affordable Care. They could have fought about that while they're in session. So it is the Democrats. And even if the Republicans are wrong about funding for healthcare for illegals, even if they're wrong about that, that has nothing to do with whether or not they had a continuing funding mechanism Has nothing to do with it. They were going to fund it in the exact same way it's being funded already, just until they get through the appropriations bills. They can fight about the Medicare subsidies and who gets health care and whatnot in those debates. This is just keeping the government running, and they voted to, they didn't vote to keep it running because they were trying to get concessions out of something that wasn't part of the negotiations, just keeping the government running. So, yes, the Democrats are the ones who shut down the government. Doesn't matter what it was about. Pam Bondi.
Prosecutors are hard at work fighting crime, keeping our streets safe, and protecting you from the threats.
I want to hear about the
foreign
senators.
and domestic.
I'm going to play this whole thing.
When I was confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States, I took office with two main goals: to end the weaponization of justice and return the department to its core mission of fighting violent crime. As to ending the weaponization of justice, we learned that former FBI secretly investigated you and your colleagues.
Uh-oh.
Why? They wanted to take President Trump off the playing field.
Uh-oh.
They were playing politics with law enforcement
So
powers.
what are you going to do about it,
Go
Pam?
down as a historic betrayal of public trust. This is the kind of conduct
Who gets arrested
that
for this,
shatters the
Pam?
American people's faith in our law enforcement system. We will work to earn that back every single day. We are returning to our core mission of fighting real crime. While there is more work to do, I
You mean like what Jack Smith just got caught doing?
believe in 8 short months, we have made tremendous progress towards those ends. Our federal surges in Washington, D.C. and Memphis are a perfect example of how the Department of Justice should operate. We created strong partnerships with local leadership, working hand in hand with both cities to send resources where they were needed most. The results speak for themselves. We have made more than 3,800 arrests here in Washington while seizing more than 365 illegal guns. In Memphis, we have already made more than 300 arrests and close to 80 illegal guns.
They just got
in
to Memphis,
a
by
week.
the way.
We are replicating.
Okay, I wanted to hear more about the 8 senators. Anyway, she's testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee this morning. She arrived to testify this morning, so that's why they're trending. We'll have more on that tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be plenty of sound bites. The Senate Judiciary Committee holds an oversight hearing at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on October 7th to examine the operations and accountability of the Department of Justice. That's what they're live right now. During his opening remarks during Pam Bondi's hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee this morning, top-ranking Judiciary Democrat Dick Durbin accused Trump's DOJ of becoming a shield for the president. An ironic statement coming from Dick Durbin, the appropriately named Dick Durbin, considering the fact that after Trump was convicted, by Judge Marchand's kangaroo court, Dick Durbin issued a no one is above the law statement that almost all the other Senate Judiciary Democrats copied in an effort to shield the Democrats from a fully unleashed GOP presidential opponent during the 2024 election. Okay, that's Laura Loomer saying that. So I'm sure we'll hear some sound bites from this committee hearing tomorrow. Pam Bondi's also trending because, again, she's testifying this morning. And Watergate is trending because a lot is saying that this scandal of the senators being secretly investigated may be worse than Watergate. Silver alert, two elderly men that claim every fake scandal President Trump is accused of is worse than Watergate, but are now totally missing for Jack Smith and the FBI spying on political enemies. So there you go. That's what that's all about. Lots of people talking about it, and I'm sure we'll have more interesting thing about that tomorrow. Illegal guns, yes, people to having guns that aren't supposed to have guns. Not illegal guns, people illegally owning guns. Yeah, it's a good point there, Select Boy. So anyway, what articles did I have open? Oh, the last thing I'm going to talk about is so this Jay Jones character we talked about yesterday, he's running for Attorney General of the state of Virginia. Well, apparently, here's I wish I had this on my soundboard, but here. But wait, there's more. apparently he's got more issues with things he said. New alleged violent rhetoric unearthed from Democrat AG candidate Jay Jones, this time about cops. Hi, Puffer Smiles. What's up? Republican Virginia delegate Kerry Coyner alleged in an interview that Democratic Virginia Attorney General nominee Jay Jones made violent remarks about police officers during a 2020 phone call. During an interview Monday, Coyner alleged Jones said in a 2020 conversation that if a few police officers died, it might prevent killings of other people. According to a Virginia Scope report, Jones denied making such a comment, according to the outlet. The outlet asked Coyner to clarify what Jones was referencing when he reportedly said, "I told you this before," in a 2022 text exchange. Coyner alleged that it was connected to a heated phone conversation in 2020 about stripping qualified immunity protections from police officers, which shields officers from civil lawsuits. Coyner told the outlet that they had a heated conversation on the topic and detailed his alleged stance. Quote, "I served on the courts committee for a short period of time, a bill to remove qualified immunity for police officers, which protects police officers from personal liability in their line of duty and their line of work. And he believed they should not have qualified immunity, and he was trying to convince me to agree with that. And I told him no police officers have to make a split-second decision about whether or not to shoot a gun to protect themselves or to protect others. And if they're having to think about it, will this strip my whole family of everything? Are they going to be able to make that split-second decision?" And I said, "I believe people will get killed. Police officers will get killed," she said. Coyner recounted Jones' alleged comment, and he said, well, maybe if a few of them died, that they would move on, not shooting people, not killing people. And I said, that's insane. But he firmly believed that if you remove qualified immunity, police officers would act differently. And I firmly believe that it would not result in good public policy and so on and so forth. So basically, if they die, so be it. Now, the media covering this is, according to the Daily Caller, in damage control. Anyone shocked by that? Because they're fucking clowns. Anyway, the legacy press is circling the wagons for Democratic Virginia Attorney General candidate Jay Jones after the release of text messages that could derail his campaign. Major outlets, including the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Reuters, and Bloomberg, have ignored the scandal involving Jones' disturbing private messages and use of reckless driving conviction for political gain. I'll put that article open. Neither stories appears on their websites, and none have published follow-up coverage or reaction from political figures. Anybody shocked by that? Anybody shocked by that? And even CNN downplayed the scandal with a soft headline. Listen, look at this headline. Virginia's Democratic nominee for Attorney General facing pressure over resurfaced text messages. Oh no, oh my. Axios only offered a brief mention Monday, headlining its piece, GOP unveils 7-figure ad campaign on, quote, 2 bullets text by Jay Jones. Wow, that doesn't tell you anything. It's Republicans pounced. That's what that is. That's a Republicans pounce headline. Let's see. Reports broke Wednesday, a classic October surprise, showing that Jones turned a reckless driving case into a political capital by logging community service hours with his own campaign committee. Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. In January 2022, a state trooper clocked Jones driving at 116 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. Shortly after he left his seat at the Virginia House of Delegates, court records show his attorney delayed the case 4 times before securing a, quote, deferred disposition, end quote, letting Jones dodge up to a year in jail by performing community service. He ultimately paid a $1,500 fine and logged 1,000 hours of service in 2023, roughly half credited to his Political Action Committee, Meet Our Moment, which is registered with the Virginia Board of Elections, but not a nonprofit, and the rest with the NAACP Virginia State Conference. So he basically probably went and did something he was going to be doing anyway. Isn't that amazing? So, anyway, so yeah, Jay Jones. Okay. will this hurt him in his race for the Attorney General? I don't know. It should, but, you know, we don't know what the voters of Virginia are like. So there you go. All right. That's all I got time for, kiddos. I'm going to, let me get rid of this and drop the links. The video by Samson and all the stuff, other stuff that I posted here are here, plus the aggregator from the Ace of Spades blog, which there's tons of stuff in there. So that's it. So thank you, everybody. Here. Wait, there we go. All right, let me fix. Oh, that was weird. Here come the links. Poof. Here are the links for the day. God, if I could type better. Yes, I did the There are 10 links, and they'll be in the description also. That's it. Got to go. We'll see what happens in that Senate Judiciary Committee. I have a couple other videos I want to go through. Not music videos, but other videos I want to react to tomorrow. Or just stuff I want to show you. Just the craziness that's out there. That's it. Got to go. Thanks. My name's PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thanks for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.